Inside the sucker, there's a chamber, like a cup, called the acetabulum. It's full of water. When the octopus expands the chamber, it lowers the pressure inside. The higher pressure outside pushes against the sucker, creating a powerful grip.
Have evolved away from using the molluscan shell. A good, big, solid shell is a great place to hide in. And if you're hiding all the time, you don't have to think. As soon as you get out from the shell, you are what some people have described as bait. Anything can get you, anything is interested in getting you, and you don't have any built-in protection. Probably not the only way, but an excellent way to get around the problem of not having any protection anymore is to have smarts.
Cephalopods have been around for a long time. Fossil records show that they evolved over 500 million years ago, long before any fish, reptiles, or mammals ever appeared on Earth. The early ancestor of the octopus was quite small and had a shell, which it used to protect itself as it crawled along the ocean bottom. Cephalopods are, after all, members of the mollusk phylum, a group of creatures that are usually slow and simple, with soft bodies and a hard protective shell, like snails, clams, and oysters. But around 140 million years ago, the lineage that produced the octopus lost their shells, making them nimble, agile creatures, but in the process also made them rather vulnerable. Survival of these soft-bodied creatures for so many millions of years therefore seems unlikely in a sea full of dangerous, hungry predators. But this vulnerability and selective pressure may be precisely what has allowed the octopus to become the remarkable creature we know today. Because an octopus has almost no hard parts at all, except its beak, it can squeeze through any hole as long as it's larger than its eyeball. This allows the octopus to hide in very small crevices, a certain evolutionary advantage when escaping large predators like sharks or dolphins. But the soft-bodied octopus evolved an even more clever way of evading detection. They are masters of disguise.
We believe you are hiding in plain sight.
When you have someone who's psychopathic, if that's the case, they can do anything they want to their victims, and they feel themselves absolutely no remorse or guilt for what they do. When you have a case like this, or a case that despite the tremendous effort on the part of the detectives and the law enforcement folks that have been working this, when someone is able to fly under the radar screen for an extended period of time, it's generally because they appear to be so normal and non-threatening. The person just doesn't stand out as somebody that is threatening, that stands out as someone that's scary or creepy. They're very normal in two ways. They're normal in their behavior and they're normal in their lifestyle, meaning that they could have a good job, they could be married, they could have children, and in their everyday life, they appear as normal as you and me. They don't go home or back to work and behave in a real nervous way, in an anxious way. They'll go home and have a hamburger and french fries with their family, for example.
Perhaps the killer laid in wait at the bridge for the right opportunity. Perhaps Abby and Libby were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they fell into his trap. He melded back into society and moved on with his life, as though February 13th, 2017 was just another day.
Watching this clip of an octopus, you can see just how quickly and drastically it can change colors. In slow motion reverse, you see the color change spread across its body. The 3D texture of the skin also changes to match the surrounding seaweed and coral. In the blink of an eye, it has almost completely blended in with its surroundings. Cephalopod camouflage is among the most dynamic in the animal kingdom and relies on a system of extremely sophisticated tissues.
Octopus ink is deadly, even for the octopus. The ink is a seemingly innocent mixture of mucus and melanin. Melanin, the same dark pigment found in skin, hair, and eyes, also happens to contain the chemical compound tyrosinase, which can impair a predator's sight, taste, and smell. Octopuses and other cephalopods may use their ink to distract, confuse, and paralyze their predators. This mucus mixture may even block a fish's gills, causing the fish to suffocate. If an octopus cannot escape its own ink, its respiratory systems may be compromised, causing the octopus to suffocate and die.
How many tips did police receive early on, and how did you sort through what was potentially helpful and what wasn't?
Well, we had so many we couldn't manage them early on. And we're up to around 46,000 now. That's why we brought in the system the FBI offered. Mm-hmm. That helped us not only collect that, because remember, we can't, even though we collect it, we have to know what the action was, because I think that we're just one tip away. Mm-hmm. So we have to make darn good and sure that we follow up on those tips that are appropriate, and then we properly catalog them, because once the arrest is made, the investigation starts all over again.
Yep.
So that's when the real work's going to begin again. So it's really important that we track data.
Yeah, and it's important to keep some of that stuff to yourself, right? So that you have that when we go to trial.
We know a lot.
Yep.
Octopuses and other cephalopods may use their ink to distract, confuse, and paralyze their predators.
A broad area.
Yeah.
But we don't have that one piece.
Yeah, I think once we find out who did this, we're going to think, yep.
I guess so too.